Hey friends, today we're going to make cement pumpkins. This is such a simple project to do. This will be my first time doing it. I've watched a few videos on YouTube and it looks fairly simple that anybody can do this project. So here are a few of the items you're going to need to get started. You're going to need gloves, you're going to need pantyhose, you're going to need a cup of some kind. This is a planter pot. You're going to need water, a trowel, string to tie your pumpkins up, and cement. And then there's some of the concrete in a bucket, and you'll also need a bucket as well. So let's get on with the tutorial. You're going to need scissors to cut your string, so make sure you have that handy, or cut your string ahead of time, which is what I did. Have all your materials ready. It makes everything, the whole process, go by so much more smoothly. So the first thing you're going to do is take the pantyhose, and I tied mine at the end. So what you want to do is put this over your plant pot or cup, whatever that you have to hold it, and this is what the cement is going to go in. So that's the first thing you want to do. And then next, you just want to mix your concrete. You want to mix your concrete, and you just want to get it moist enough to where the consistency will be like oatmeal. You don't want it too soupy. And it's best to pour less at first than more, so you don't get the soupy concrete. You just mix. Probably going to add a little bit more water. We're getting close. But you want the consistency about like this. It's okay if it's a little chunky. That's just how cement is. And so now we're going to put it in our cup. You can figure out what size pumpkin you want. You can make it small, you can make it bigger. The more cement you put in, the bigger it will be. I'm going to start off with the small one. So you want to pull it out like this, and you want to kind of round it out. And then you want to tie a knot. You want to tie this off. And then you're going to get your string and make the sections of the pumpkin. Got your pumpkin done, you're going to place your string in a way that it looks like a spider web. And you can put as many strings as you want or as little strings as you want. And the pumpkin doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing in nature is perfect. So you're going to take your cement ball and you're going to place it right here. And then you're going to pull your strings and tie them together. I'm going to cut some of this off here, this excess pantyhose. And then you're going to take your strings and just pull them up and tie it. And you want to pull it taut so you can get the pumpkin lines. So then you're going to let this dry. It might take 24 hours or so. Just depends on where you are, what type of humidity you're dealing with. But let that sit and dry, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so all the pumpkins are complete. I am letting these little guys dry. It's going to take probably a day or two. And I'm going to remove the strings and remove the pantyhose. You might have to do some sanding if you want. You don't have to. It just depends on the texture once they come out. And for the tops, what I'm going to do is use a twig out of my yard, and I'm going to cut it in various lengths. And I'm going to get some Gorilla Glue, waterproof Gorilla Glue, and glue the twig onto the pumpkin for the stem. The pumpkins I had to let dry for a few days because we got rain for a couple of days, some pretty good rains. So these have actually been drying for about 3 days, and so they're nice and hard. So what you want to do, I already did one earlier, you want to take off the strings and the pantyhose. But before you do that, make sure you have gloves and make sure you have a mask, because the dust from the concrete's going to fly in the air and you don't want to inhale that. Make sure you have a pair of scissors to cut the strings. Just lift it up, and that'll get you started on getting everything off. And then you see the holes that you created by lifting up. You just take it and just pull it. And it seems to come off fairly easily. And so then what I'm going to do is take my stick that I got out of the yard, and these are bypass loppers, and I'm just going to cut my stem to fit into my little pumpkins. So I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so I had another pumpkin that had the strings like caught in between the grooves, and the best way I found to work was just take your scissors and just go up the middle, or if you have like an X-Acto knife or something that you don't mind getting pretty dull, and just running the blade in between, and that helped. This one's a little more stubborn, but I was able to get out the strings in a couple of these pumpkins just by doing this method of going in the middle like this. Just be very careful if you're working with sharp stuff. These would make great paperweights, something to put on your desk, gifts, so many possibilities. You can color them any color you want or leave them, place them in your garden. I think that's what I'm going to do with these. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll show you some pictures of ones that are completed.